The autumn afternoon sunlight poured through the cafe windows. Na Yian lifted the wooden tray. 2 cups of cafe latte. Table 7. She turned toward the entrance to navigate through. That's when the door opened. A woman walked in, elegant, late 30s, a beige trench coat, designer handbag, perfectly styled shoulder-length hair. But what stopped time wasn't the expensive clothes. It was her face. Na Yian froze mid-step. The woman also stopped. Their eyes met. 3 seconds felt like 3 hours. The cafe sounds faded. Other customers disappeared. Only the 2 of them existed in that moment. The woman's lips parted slightly. Her eyes widened. Her hand moved unconsciously to her chest, as if her heart had stopped beating. Na Yian felt something strange. A pull. A recognition. An impossibility. They were about to collide. The tray tilted, but Na Yian caught it in time. The coffee didn't spill. "I'm so sorry," Na Yian said, her bright smile returning automatically. "I didn't see you coming in." The woman couldn't speak. Her throat had closed. 18 years of searching, and suddenly, impossibly, she was staring at a ghost made flesh. "Are you okay?" Na Yian asked, concern creasing her young face. "Yes, I'm fine." The words came out barely audible. Their eyes met again. The woman drank in every detail. The shape of her eyes. The curve of her smile. The way her hair fell past her shoulders. The exact same features. The exact same face she'd been seeing in photographs for 18 years. "Can I help you find a seat?" Na Yian gestured toward the tables with her free hand. "The window. I'll sit by the window." The woman's voice shook. Na Yian nodded, that warm smile, never leaving her face, and carried the coffees to table 7. The woman, Ji-yoon, walked slowly to the window table. Her legs felt weak. Her hands trembled as she set down her handbag. She ordered something she couldn't remember what and when Na Yian brought it over. Ji-yoon couldn't take her eyes off her. "Is there anything else you need?" Na Yian asked. Ji-yoon wanted to scream. Wanted to grab this girl's hands. Wanted to demand answers, but she only managed, "What's your name?" "Na Yian." "Park Na Yian." The girl smiled. "I work here part-time. Let me know if you need anything." Park Na Yian. The name echoed in Ji-yoon's mind. Not Kim. Not the family name her daughter should have had. But that face. Those eyes. That smile. Ji-yoon sat alone at the window table for 3 hours. She ordered coffee after coffee she didn't drink. She watched Na Yian work. The way she moved. The way she laughed with customers. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was concentrating. Every gesture felt familiar. Every expression a memory she shouldn't have but did. When Na Yian's shift ended at 5, she took off her apron and grabbed her jacket. As she headed for the door, she glanced back at the woman by the window. Their eyes met one more time. And this time, Na Yian felt it too. That impossible pull. That unexplainable recognition. She almost went back. Almost asked the question she didn't know how to form. But she didn't. She walked out into the autumn evening, the feeling following her like a shadow. Behind her, Ji-yoon finally moved. She picked up her phone with shaking hands and called someone. She'd never thought she'd call again. "Detective Park? This is Kim Ji-yoon. I think I found her. I think I found my daughter." The next morning, Na Yian couldn't stop thinking about the woman. Those sad eyes. That expensive coat. The way she'd stared like she was seeing a ghost. At home, Na Yian's mother was making breakfast. Min Jung, 45 years old, short practical hair, hands roughened by years of work at her side dish shop. "You're quiet this morning," Min Jung said, setting down a bowl of rice. "Something wrong?" "No, just had a weird day yesterday." "Weird how?" Na Yian hesitated. "There was this woman at the cafe. She kept staring at me. It was strange." Min Jung's hand froze over the kimchi jar. "Just for a second. Probably just a lonely ajumma. Don't worry about it." But something in her mother's voice made Na Yian look up. Min Jung's face was carefully neutral. Too neutral. "Mom? You okay?" "Fine. Eat your breakfast. You'll be late for class." Na Yian ate, but the strange feeling didn't leave. That woman's face. Her mother's reaction. Pieces of a puzzle she couldn't see. 3 days later, the woman came back to the cafe. Na Yian was wiping down tables when the door opened. That same beige coat. That same sad, beautiful face. "Table for one?" Na Yian asked automatically. Actually, the woman's voice was soft. Could we talk? When you have a break. Na Yian should have said no. Should have maintained the professional distance. But something in those eyes made her say, my break is in 10 minutes. I'll meet you at the window table. When Na Yian sat down across from her, the woman had already ordered 2 coffees. I'm Ji-yoon, she said. Kim Ji-yoon, Na Yian. But you already know that. Na Yian wrapped her hands around the warm cup. Why did you want to talk to me? Ji-yoon chose her words carefully. Because you remind me of someone. Someone I lost a long time ago. Who? My daughter. The word hung in the air. Heavy. Impossible. I'm sorry, Na Yian said. That must be terrible. She was taken from me. 18 years ago. She was only 2 years old. Ji-yoon's voice cracked. I've looked for her every single day since. Na Yian felt her chest tighten. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine. How old are you, Na Yian? 18. And your parents? It's just my mom and me. Has been my whole life. Na Yian smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. My mom owns a side dish shop near the traditional market. She's amazing. Works harder than anyone I know. And your father? Never met him. My mom doesn't talk about him. Na Yian shrugged. Honestly, I don't care. She's enough. Ji-yoon's hands tightened on her coffee cup. Do you have any baby pictures? Photos from when you were very young? The question was odd. Too personal. But Na Yian answered anyway. Not really. My mom says we didn't have a camera back then. Money was tight. The earliest photo I have is from when I was about 5. Something flashed across Ji-yoon's face. Hope. Fear. Certainty. Na Yian, she said carefully. Can I show you something? She reached into her handbag. Pulled out a worn leather wallet. From inside, she took a photograph. Small. Faded. Creased at the corners from years of handling. She placed it on the table between them. Na Yian looked down, and her world tilted. The photograph showed a smiling 2-year-old child. Round face. Bright eyes. Happy smile. It could have been any child. Except Na Yian recognized that face. Not from memory, but from mirrors. From her own childhood photos that did exist, the ones from age 5 and up. The resemblance wasn't just similar. It was identical. This is your daughter? Na Yian's voice came from far away. Yes. This was taken 2 weeks before she was taken. August 1, 2007. Na Yian's hands started shaking. Where was she taken from? A supermarket. In Seoul. The neighborhood near the traditional market. Ji-yoon's eyes never left Na Yian's face. I went inside for just a moment. She was sleeping in her stroller. When I came back out, she was gone. The traditional market. Where Na Yian had grown up. Where her mother's shop was. Where all her earliest memories began at age 5. I don't. Na Yian pushed back from the table. I can't. This is crazy. Na Yian, please. No. You're suggesting. You think I'm. That's impossible. But even as she said it, pieces clicked into place. The lack of baby photos. Her mother's strange reactions when Na Yian asked about her early childhood. The way certain questions were always deflected. I could be wrong, Ji-yoon said quietly. I've been wrong before. So many times. But Na Yian, look at this photo. Look at it and tell me you don't see yourself. Na Yian looked. She saw a 2-year-old with her exact face. Her exact eyes. Her exact smile. I need to go. She stood up so fast her chair scraped loudly. I need to. I have to. She ran. Out of the cafe. Into the autumn afternoon. Her heart pounding. Her mind screaming. Behind her, Ji-yoon sat alone at the window table. Clutching the photograph. 18 years of searching. And maybe, impossibly, finally finding. But finding wasn't the same as keeping. Finding wasn't the same as getting her daughter back. The hardest part was just beginning. That night, Na Yian couldn't eat dinner. You sick? Min Jung asked, concerned. Just tired. But when her mother went to close up the shop, Na Yian sat alone in their small apartment. She pulled out her phone and searched, Missing Child 2007 Seoul Supermarket. Article after article appeared. News reports. Police statements. A desperate mother's plea. And in every article, there was a photo. The same photo. The smiling 2-year-old. The child's name was Kim Soo-jin. Not Park Na Yian. Kim Soo-jin. Na Yian stared at the screen until her eyes burned. Until the words stopped making sense. until her entire identity felt like a lie. When Min Jung came home, Na Yian was still sitting in the dark. Na Yian? Why are the lights off? Mom? Na Yian's voice was small, childlike. Where did I come from? Silence. Long and terrible. What kind of question is that? You know where you came from. Do I? Na Yian turned on the light. Looked at her mother. Really looked. Tell me about my father. Tell me about when I was born. Tell me about my first years. Tell me anything real. Min Jung's face drained of color. Na Yian. A woman came to the cafe. She showed me a photo. A photo of a child who looks exactly like me. A child who was kidnapped 18 years ago. From right here. From this neighborhood. That has nothing to do with us. Then why don't I have any baby pictures? Why can't you tell me anything about my early childhood? Why do all my memories start at age 5? Na Yian, please. Am I Kim Soo Jin? The name ripped from her throat. Am I that woman's daughter? The silence that followed was an answer in itself. Min Jung collapsed into a chair. Tears streaming down her face. I found you crying in an alley. Alone. No one around. I waited. I searched. No police. No missing person reports in that area. You were abandoned. So I took you home. I became your mother. You stole me. I saved you. You were alone. Abandoned. I gave you a home. A life. Love. You took me from my real mother. I am your real mother. Min Jung screamed. I raised you. Fed you. Loved you. Every fever. Every nightmare. Every accomplishment. That was me. Not her. Me. They stood on opposite sides of the small apartment. Between them, 18 years of love. 18 years of lies. Who am I? Na Yian whispered. Who am I really? Min Jung had no answer. Because the truth was neither of them knew anymore. Ji-yoon sat in the darkness of her expensive living room. The city lights glittered below, but she didn't see them. She only saw the past. Flashback. Summer 2007. She was 20 years old. Newly married. Exhausted. The baby had been crying all morning. I just need 1 minute, she told herself. Just 1 minute to buy tofu. The supermarket was right there. The baby was sleeping peacefully in the stroller. The shade protected her from the hot sun. She'd be gone for 2 minutes. Maximum. Ji-yoon went inside. The cool air was a relief. She found the tofu quickly. Paid. Started back toward the door. Through the glass, she could see the stroller. Right where she'd left it. Everything was fine. She stepped outside. The afternoon heat hit her like a wall. She walked toward the stroller. 5 steps. 4. 3. And then she saw. The stroller was empty. The blanket was still there. The stuffed rabbit. Everything except the most important thing. Her daughter was gone. The world tilted. The ground vanished. A scream tore from her throat that she could still hear, 18 years later. My baby. Someone took my baby. People gathered. She couldn't see their faces. Couldn't hear their words. There was only the empty stroller and the howling void. Where her daughter should be. Police came. Questions. So many questions. How long were you inside? Did you see anyone suspicious? Why did you leave her alone? That last question. Over and over. Why did you leave her? Why did you leave her? Why did you leave her? The security cameras were broken. Coincidence? Or planned? No one knew. The footage showed nothing. Her daughter simply vanished. 2 years old. Kim Soo Jin. Gone. The investigation lasted months. Then years. Tips that led nowhere. Sightings that were other children. Hope rising and crashing, rising and crashing. Until Ji-yoon stopped hoping at all. Her husband left after 3 years. I can't do this anymore, he said. Living with a ghost. He was right. She'd become a ghost. A shell. A woman who'd died but kept breathing. She remarried at 35. A kind man. Wealthy. Patient. But he couldn't fill the void. No one could. The empty space where her daughter should be was infinite. Present. Ji-yoon sat in her luxury apartment. Alone. As she'd been alone for 18 years. The second husband was away. Always away. She didn't blame him. Who wanted to live with grief? She reached for her handbag. Opened her wallet. The photograph was there, as it always was. Worn. Faded. Precious. Her finger traced the smiling baby's face. I'm sorry, she whispered. The same words she'd whispered for 18 years. I'm so sorry, my baby. Mommy's so sorry. But tonight, something was different. Tonight, she'd seen a girl with that exact face. That exact smile. Grown up. Beautiful. Alive. Could it really be? After 18 years of dead ends? Could this impossible hope be real? Her hands shook as she dialed the private investigator's number. The same man who'd been helping her for 15 years. I found her, she said when he answered. I think I really found her this time. Ms. Kim, you've said that before. This time is different. She looks exactly like the age progression photos. Exactly. And she's the right age. Lives in the right neighborhood. Has no baby pictures. No early memories. It's her. It has to be her. What's her name? Park Na-yeon. The sound of typing. Then silence. Then, Ms. Kim. There's no birth certificate for anyone named Park Na-yeon born in that year. No hospital records. It's like she didn't exist until age 5. Ji-yoon's heart stopped. Started again. What does that mean? It means, the detective said carefully, that someone created an identity for her. Someone who didn't go through official channels. Someone who wanted no paper trail. Someone who stole her. We don't know that yet. I need to investigate further. But Ms. Kim, don't get your hopes up. I've seen you hurt too many times. But Ji-yoon's hopes were already up. Flying, soaring, terrifying. She looked at the photograph again. At the smiling 2-year-old. Who might, impossibly, have grown up to be the beautiful barista with the bright smile. Soo-jin, she whispered. Mommy's coming for you. After 18 years, Mommy's finally coming for you. Outside, the autumn wind howled. Inside, Ji-yoon sat in the dark, holding the photograph, and for the first time in 18 years, she let herself hope. The next evening, Ji-yoon's apartment. The sun set slowly, painting the sky in shades of amber and gold. In any other context, it would have been beautiful. Ji-yoon sat on her designer gray sofa. The enormous floor-to-ceiling windows showed the city spreading below. Lights beginning to twinkle. Other people's lives. Other people's happiness. She belonged to none of it. The apartment was pristine. Minimalist. Expensive. Everything chosen by interior designers who understood luxury but not life. White marble surfaces. Contemporary art on the walls. Designer furniture that no one ever sat on. A coffee cup sat on the side table next to her. Cold. Untouched. She'd made it 2 hours ago and forgotten about it. She did that a lot. Forgot to drink. Forgot to eat. Forgot to live, really? What was the point? Her second husband wouldn't be home for another 3 days. He was always traveling. Always busy. And when he was home, they existed in the same space but not the same world. He'd tried, in the beginning. Asked how she was feeling. Suggested therapy. Planned trips to get her mind off things. But you can't get your mind off a missing child. The loss is absolute. Consuming. It fills every space until there's no room for anything else. Eventually, he'd stopped trying. Now they were polite strangers sharing an address. Ji-yoon reached for her handbag. Her hands found the familiar leather of her wallet without looking. She knew exactly where it was. She always knew. The photograph slipped out into her waiting fingers. Worn edges. Faded colors. A smiling 2-year-old who would be 20 now if she was still. No, she couldn't think that way. 18 years of hoping her daughter was alive. She couldn't stop now. But tonight, something was different. Tonight, she'd seen the age progression become reality. That barista. Na-yeon. Those eyes. That smile. Is it really you? She whispered to the photograph. After all these years, did I really find you? The photo didn't answer. But Ji-yoon's heart did. It had to be her. The resemblance was too perfect. The circumstances too coincidental. No baby pictures. No early memories. The right age. The right neighborhood. It was her daughter. It had to be. But knowing and proving were different things. And even if she could prove it, then what? The girl had a mother. A woman who'd raised her. Loved her. What right did Ji-yoon have to tear that apart? She had every right. The right of biology. The right of loss. The right of 18 years of grief. But did she have the right to destroy an 18-year-old girl's entire understanding of her identity? Ji-yoon looked at the photograph again. At that innocent, smiling face. She'd been so happy in that moment. So safe. So loved. 2 weeks later, she'd been stolen. And Ji-yoon had spent 18 years paying for the 2 minutes. She'd left her daughter alone. The tears came silently. They always did now. She'd cried so much over the years that she'd run out of sounds to make. Just silent tears streaming down her face, while she stared at the photograph and whispered apologies. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Mommy should have kept you safe. Mommy should have been watching. It was my fault. All my fault. The guilt was a constant weight. Heavier than the loss. Because she hadn't just lost her daughter, she'd failed her. Failed to protect her. Failed to keep her safe for even 2 minutes. Outside, the sky darkened completely. The city lights brightened. Somewhere out there, millions of people were living their lives. Going home to their families. Hugging their children. Ji-yoon sat in her beautiful prison. Alone. As she'd been alone for 18 years. The coffee grew colder. The lights of the city blurred through her tears. The photograph remained, as it always did, the only thing that mattered. Tomorrow, she'd go back to the cafe. She'd find a way to talk to Na-yeon again. She'd gather evidence. She'd build a case. She'd bring her daughter home. But tonight, she sat in the darkness and mourned. For the baby she'd lost. For the girl she'd missed watching grow up. For the 18 years she could never get back. The loneliness was absolute. The luxury meaningless. The grief eternal. I love you, she whispered to the photograph. Wherever you are. Whatever name they call you. You're my daughter. And I'm coming for you. I promise. This time, I'm bringing you home. The city lights glittered. The apartment stayed dark. And Ji-yoon sat alone with her grief. Her guilt, and her impossible, desperate hope. 5 days after the first meeting. The autumn afternoon was perfect. Na-yeon had avoided the cafe for 3 days. Called in sick. Couldn't face going back. Couldn't face the possibility of seeing that woman again. But she had bills to pay. University tuition to save for. A mother who worked herself to exhaustion at the side dish shop. So on the 5th day, she went back to work. And of course, Ji-yoon was there. Sitting at the window table. Waiting. Their eyes met across the cafe. Na-yeon's heart sank. Ji-yoon's face lit up with desperate hope. Na-yeon busied herself with other customers. Took orders. Made coffee. Cleaned tables. Anything to avoid that window seat. But at 3 p.m., during her break, Ji-yoon approached the counter. Please, she said quietly. Just talk to me. 5 minutes. That's all I ask. Na-yeon wanted to refuse. Wanted to run. But something in those sad, desperate eyes made her nod. They sat at the corner table. 2 cups of tea between them. Neither touched their drinks. I've spent the last few days investigating, Ji-yoon said carefully. I had a private detective look into your records. That's illegal. I know. I don't care. Ji-yoon's voice was steady. Na-yeon, there's no birth certificate for you. No hospital records. No documentation of your existence until you were 5 years old. Na-yeon's hands clenched. That doesn't mean anything. Maybe my mom just didn't register me right away. Lots of people. It's been bothering you too. Hasn't it? Ji-yoon leaned forward. You've been thinking about what I said. About the photo. About your missing baby pictures. About why your memories don't start until age 5. Na-yeon said nothing. Because it was true. She'd been thinking about nothing else. I talked to my mom, Na-yeon said finally. About you. About the photo. And? She admitted it. That she found me. In an alley. Alone. 18 years ago. Na-yeon's voice cracked. She said she waited for someone to claim me. No one came. So she kept me. Ji-yoon's breath caught. That's because no one knew to look in an alley. My daughter was taken from outside a supermarket. The police searched that area. If someone had dumped her in an alley later, she stopped. Composed herself. Did your mother tell you what date she found you? August 17, 2007. 2 days after my daughter was taken. Ji-yoon's hands shook. Na-yeon, someone stole my daughter from that stroller. Someone hid her. And 2 days later, she was found by your mother. It all fits. It doesn't prove anything. Then let's do a DNA test. Ji-yoon's voice was urgent. One simple test. We'll know for certain. Na-yeon stood up so fast her chair screeched. No, absolutely not. I don't need a test to tell me who I am. My mother raised me. She's my mom. End of story. But what if she's not? What if I'm your mother? You're not my mother. The words burst out louder than Na-yeon intended. Other customers looked over. She lowered her voice. You're a stranger who lost a child. I'm sorry for your loss. Truly. But I'm not her. I can't be her. Because if I am, then everything I know is a lie. What if it is? The question hung between them. What if everything Na Yian knew about herself was built on a foundation of lies? I need to go. Na Yian grabbed her apron. Please don't come back here. Please just leave me alone. She walked away, left Ji-yoon sitting alone at the corner table. But this time, Na Yian didn't run. She stood behind the espresso machine, hands shaking, and watched the beautiful, sad woman at the corner table. Watched her cry silently, watched her pull out that worn photograph, watched her trace the baby's face with her finger. And Na Yian thought, what if that's me? What if that sad, beautiful woman is my real mother? The thought was terrifying, because if it was true, then who was she? What was she? Park Na Yian didn't exist. She was a fiction, a stolen life, a lie wrapped in 18 years of love. When Na Yian's shift ended at 6 p.m., Ji-yoon was still there. Waiting. Na Yian walked over, sat down without being asked. Okay, she said quietly. We'll do the DNA test. But on one condition. Anything. If it comes back positive. I need time to process, to figure out who I am. You don't just get to claim me because biology says you're my mother. You understand? Ji-yoon nodded, tears streaming down her face. I understand. I need to know. After 18 years, I need to know if you're her. When? Tomorrow. I have a private clinic. Discreet. We can get results in 3 days. 3 days to know the truth. 3 days until Na Yian's life either continued as normal or shattered completely. Okay, Na Yian said. Tomorrow. They sat in silence as the autumn sun set outside. 2 women, 18 years apart, connected by a photograph and a terrible possibility. Na Yian looked at Ji-yoon. Really looked. At the expensive clothes that couldn't hide the exhaustion. At the styled hair that framed a face carved by grief. At the hands that trembled even when they were still. This woman had spent 18 years looking for a lost child. 18 years of hope and heartbreak. 18 years of guilt and grief. And Na Yian might be that child. Can I see the photo again? Na Yian asked quietly. Ji-yoon pulled it out immediately. Placed it on the table between them. Na Yian studied it. The smiling 2-year-old. The round cheeks. The bright eyes. The happy, innocent face. She pulled out her phone. Scrolled to a photo from last week. Held it next to the old photograph. The resemblance was undeniable. Same face. Same eyes. Same smile. Just 18 years apart. Oh God, Na Yian whispered. It really is me, isn't it? Ji-yoon nodded, unable to speak. I don't know what to do with that, Na Yian said. I don't know how to be your daughter. You don't have to be anything, Ji-yoon said gently. We just need to know the truth. Everything else, we'll figure it out. But Na Yian knew it wouldn't be that simple. Nothing about this would be simple. Because if that DNA test came back positive, 3 lives would be destroyed. Her mother's, Ji-yoon's, and her own. Tomorrow, Na Yian repeated. But after we do the test, I need you to leave me alone until the results come. I need time to think. To prepare. Can you do that? Yes, I can do that. They left the cafe together. Walked in opposite directions. Na Yian toward the traditional market. And the small apartment above the side dish shop. Ji-yoon toward her luxury car and her empty house. 2 mothers, 1 daughter. And a truth that would change everything. The next morning. The DNA testing clinic. It was clinical, cold, sterile. Na Yian sat in a chair while a nurse swabbed the inside of her cheek. Ji-yoon had already given her sample. Results in 3 days, the nurse said. We'll call you. 3 days, 72 hours. And then Na Yian would know who she really was. They left separately, as agreed. Ji-yoon went home to wait. Na Yian went to work. But she couldn't focus, couldn't smile at customers, couldn't pretend everything was normal when her entire existence might be a lie. At 2 p.m., she dropped a tray. Coffee everywhere. Broken ceramic. She knelt to clean it up, and that's when she noticed a photograph lying on the floor near the counter. Exactly where Ji-yoon had been standing an hour ago, paying for her coffee. It must have fallen from her wallet. Na Yian picked it up. And everything stopped. The photograph was different from the one Ji-yoon had shown her before. This one was even more worn. More faded. More precious. The same 2-year-old. But in this photo, she was being held by a young woman. barely 20, fresh-faced, happy, holding her baby with such obvious love that it hurt to look at. Na Yian turned the photo over. On the back, in faded handwriting, Su Jin and Mommy. July 2007. My whole world. Su Jin. That was the name. Her name? Her real name? Na Yian stared at the young woman in the photo. She had Ji Yoon's face, but younger. Happier. Before grief had carved lines into her features. Before guilt had stolen her smile. This was what Ji Yoon had looked like as a mother. Young, joyful, complete, and the baby in her arms that was supposedly Na Yian. That round-faced, happy child who'd been loved so completely. What happened to that child? What happened to that young, happy mother? Na Yian knew what happened. 18 years of grief happened. 18 years of searching. 18 years of loss. She looked at the photograph for a long time. At the young mother holding her baby like she was everything. At the baby who didn't know she'd be stolen 2 weeks later. At the life that was destroyed in the 2 minutes it took to buy tofu. When Ji Yoon came back to the cafe that evening, Na Yian was waiting. You dropped this. Na Yian held out the photograph. Ji Yoon's face crumpled. Oh, thank God. I thought I'd lost it. I was searching everywhere. This is my favorite photo. The last one before she was taken. Yes. Na Yian sat down across from her. Tell me about her. About Su Jin. About who I might have been. Ji Yoon clutched the photograph. She was happy. Always smiling. She'd just learned to say, Mama, and she said it constantly. She loved strawberries. Hated naps. Would cry if I left her sight for even a moment. What happened that day? Really happened? Ji Yoon's voice broke. I was so tired. She'd been crying all morning. Teething. I just needed 5 minutes of peace. The supermarket was right there. She was sleeping. I thought it would be fine. It was an accident. It was negligence. I left my baby alone. For 2 minutes. And she was taken. You couldn't have known. I should have known. Mothers are supposed to protect their children. I failed. And Su Jin paid the price. Ji Yoon was crying now. 18 years of guilt pouring out. She trusted me. And I let her down. Every day for 18 years I've lived with that. Knowing it was my fault. Knowing I destroyed both our lives. Because I couldn't stay focused for 2 more minutes. Na Yian felt something crack inside her. This woman's pain was so raw. So real. 18 years and it was still bleeding. If I am her, Na Yian said slowly, if I am Su Jin. It wasn't your fault. You made a mistake. A small, human mistake. Whoever took her, that was their fault. Not yours. You're defending me? I'm defending a young mother. Who lost everything and has spent 18 years punishing herself. Na Yian looked at the photograph again. At the happy mother and baby. If I am that baby. I wouldn't want my mother to suffer like this. Ji Yoon sobbed. Na Yian reached across the table. Held her hand. 2 women. 1 photograph. A gulf of 18 years between them. But maybe, just maybe, a bridge beginning to form. 3 days, Ji Yoon whispered. In 3 days, we'll know. 3 days, Na Yian agreed. They sat holding hands across the cafe table while the autumn sun set outside. And the world moved on, unaware that 2 lives were about to collide. 2 days before the DNA results. The traditional market. Na Yian was helping her mother at the side dish shop. Kimchi, pickled vegetables, marinated meats, the familiar smells of home. Min Jung was quiet, more quiet than usual. She'd been like this since Na Yian told her about the DNA test. You didn't have to do it, Min Jung had said. You're my daughter. That's all that matters. But what if I'm not? Na Yian had replied. Don't you think I deserve to know the truth? Min Jung had no answer to that. Now they worked in silence. Na Yian arranging containers. Min Jung chopping vegetables with more force than necessary. That's when Ji Yoon appeared. She stood at the entrance to the small shop. Elegant. Out of place. A designer coat in a world of aprons and work gloves. Can I help you? Min Jung's voice was cold. I'm looking for Min Jung. I believe you're Na Yian's mother. The knife in Min Jung's hand stopped mid-chop. Who are you? My name is Kim Ji Yoon. I know who you are. Min Jung set down the knife very carefully. Na Yian told me about you. About your claims. They're not claims. They're facts. You don't know anything about facts. You lost a child 18 years ago. That's terrible. But it doesn't mean every girl the right age is your daughter. She looks exactly like my daughter. She has no birth certificate. She has no memory before age 5. And you found her 2 days after my daughter was stolen in the same neighborhood. Those are facts. Min Jung's face darkened. Get out of my shop. Not until we talk about Na Yian. You mean Su Jin? That's what you call her, right? Su Jin? That's not her name. Her name is Na Yian. Park Na Yian. My daughter. Your stolen daughter. The words exploded like a bomb. Min Jung came around the counter. The two women stood face to face. A working-class Ajuma and a wealthy wife. But in that moment, they were equals. Both mothers. Both fighters. I didn't steal her, Min Jung said through gritted teeth. I found her, crying, alone, abandoned in an alley. I took her home. I became her mother. That's not stealing. That's saving. You should have taken her to the police. I did. I went to the police. They said there were no missing child reports in that area. They said she was probably abandoned. So yes, I kept her. And I'm glad I did. Because I gave her a life. A home. Love. What did you give her? 2 minutes of your attention before you left her alone with strangers. Ji Yoon slapped her. The sound echoed through the market. People stopped, stared, whispered. Min Jung's cheek burned red. But she didn't back down. You think you can just waltz in here with your expensive clothes and take her? You think 18 years means nothing? You think love is about blood? I think, Ji Yoon said coldly, that you committed a crime. You stole a child, and when the DNA results come back positive, I'm going to the police. The DNA results won't change anything. She's my daughter. I raised her. That's what matters. The law will disagree. The law? Min Jung laughed bitterly. You want to bring law into this? Fine. Let's talk about the law. About statute of limitations. About good faith adoption. About 18 years of established custody. You think you can just take her? You'll destroy her. I'll give her the life she deserves. The life she should have had. She had a life. A good life. She was happy. Until you showed up. They were shouting now. Market vendors gathered. Customers watched. Someone called for calm. But there was no calm to be found. Just two mothers, both desperate, both certain they were right. She's taking the DNA test, Ji Yoon said. In 1 day, we'll have proof. Proof of biology. Not of love. Not of motherhood. Biology is motherhood. Then you were never a mother at all. Because a real mother doesn't leave her baby alone for a stranger to take. Ji Yoon's face went white. The words hit their target perfectly. That's not fair, Ji Yoon whispered. None of this is fair. Min Jung's voice broke. You lost your daughter. That's terrible. But I found a little girl who needed a mother. And I became that mother. For 18 years. 18 years of love and sacrifice and hard work. You can't just erase that. I don't want to erase it. I want my daughter back. She's not a possession. She's a person. With feelings. With a life. You can't just reclaim her like lost property. Watch me. The threat hung in the air. Cold. Certain. Terrifying. Min Jung's hands shook. If you take her from me, I'll fight you. With everything I have, I'll fight you. You'll lose. Maybe. But I'll fight anyway. Because that's what mothers do. We fight for our children. Ji Yoon stepped closer. They were inches apart now. So do I. For a long moment, they stared at each other. Two women. Two mothers. One daughter. There was no solution. No compromise. Only pain. Ji Yoon turned and left. Walked through the whispering market vendors. Back to her expensive car. Back to her empty house. Min Jung stood in her shop. Surrounded by kimchi and pickles. And cried. Because she knew. Deep down, she knew. The DNA test would come back positive. And she would lose her daughter. Biology versus love. The law versus justice. Right versus right. There were no winners in this fight. Only survivors. The day of the DNA results. Na Yian received the call at 10 a.m. Results are ready. Come to the clinic whenever you're able. She called Ji Yoon. It's time. They met at the clinic at noon. Didn't speak. Didn't look at each other. Just sat in uncomfortable chairs and waited for the doctor. Doctor. Park entered with a manila folder. Her face was neutral. Professional. Ms. Kim. Ms. Park. I have your results. Ji Yoon's hands gripped the chair arms. Na Yian couldn't breathe. The probability of maternity is 99.99%. Kim Ji-yoon is biologically Na Yeon's mother. The world ended and began in the same moment. Ji-yoon made a sound like her soul was escaping, covered her face with her hands, sobbed. Na Yeon sat frozen. The words echoed. 99.99%. Biologically. Mother. Thank you, doctor, Ji-yoon managed. Can we have a moment? Doctor. Park left quietly, closed the door behind her. They sat in silence, the results on paper between them. Proof. Scientific. Undeniable. I knew, Ji-yoon whispered through her tears. I knew the moment I saw you. But knowing and proving, I needed proof. 18 years of false hopes. I needed proof. Na Yeon couldn't speak, couldn't move. Her entire identity had just shattered. She wasn't Park Na Yeon. She was Kim Soo-jin. A stolen child. A lie. What happens now? She finally asked. I don't know. I don't know. Am I supposed to just... What? Call you mom? Move into your house? Forget 18 years with Min Jung? No, of course not. I would never. She raised you. She loved you. That matters. Then what do you want? I want, Ji-yoon said carefully, to know you. To be part of your life. In whatever way you're comfortable with. And if I'm not comfortable with any way? Ji-yoon flinched. Then I'll have to accept that. But Na Yeon, Soo-jin, you're my daughter. I lost you for 18 years. Please don't ask me to lose you again. My name is Na Yeon. The words came out sharp. I don't know who Soo-jin is. I've never been Soo-jin. You were. For 2 years you were my Soo-jin. Happy, loved, safe, until you left me. The accusation hung between them. True, terrible, unforgivable. Ji-yoon's face crumpled. I know, I failed you, and I'll spend the rest of my life living with that. But please give me a chance to be your mother now. You're not my mother. Min Jung is my mother. Biologically. Biology doesn't make you a mother. Being there makes you a mother. 18 years makes you a mother. Where were you when I had the flu at 6? When I lost my first tooth? When I cried because kids at school made fun of my cheap clothes? Where were you? I was looking for you. Every single day. Well, you found me. Congratulations. Are you happy now? Do you feel complete? Because I feel like my entire life was a lie. Na Yeon stood up, grabbed the results, walked toward the door. Wait. Ji-yoon called. Please don't go. But Na Yeon was already gone. Out of the clinic. Into the autumn afternoon. The results clutched in her shaking hands. She walked for hours. No destination. Just walking. Trying to outrun the truth. But the truth followed. Whispered. Screamed. Demolished. She was Kim Soo-jin. She was the stolen baby. She was the lost daughter. She was the child who'd been looked for 18 years. And she had no idea what to do with that information. That evening, Na Yeon went home. To the small apartment above the side dish shop. To Min Jung. Her mother, the woman who raised her, was waiting. Face pale. Eyes red. The results came, Na Yeon said. She didn't need to say more. Min Jung nodded. She'd known. They'd both known. So what now? Min Jung asked. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Do you hate me? For lying? Na Yeon looked at her. This woman who'd raised her, fed her, loved her, worked herself to exhaustion to give Na Yeon a good life. I should hate you, Na Yeon said. You stole me. You lied to me. You let another woman suffer for 18 years. I know, but you also saved me, raised me, became my mother when I needed one. Min Jung started crying. I'm so sorry, Na Yeon. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought you were abandoned. You thought wrong. I know. They stood in the small apartment. Between them, 18 years of love. 18 years of lies. Both true, both valid, both impossible. She wants to be in my life, Na Yeon said. Ji-yoon. She wants to know me. And what do you want? I want to not exist. I want to go back to last week when I was just Na Yeon. Just your daughter. Just. Simple. Life isn't simple. It was. Before. Min Jung wiped her eyes. Whatever you decide, I'll support you. If you want to get to know her. If you want to live with her. If you want to change your name back. I'll understand. I don't want any of that. I want everything to go back to normal. It can't. Not anymore. And that was the truth. The painful, inescapable truth. Normal was dead. Park Na Yeon was dead. The simple life was dead. And from the ruins, Kim Soo-jin was supposed to rise. But Na Yeon had no idea who that person was. I need time, Na Yeon said. Time to think. Time to process. Time to figure out who I am. Take all the time you need. But time couldn't fix this. Time couldn't make 18 years of lies disappear. Time couldn't give Na Yeon back her stolen identity or her lost innocence. Time could only move forward. And forward meant facing a reality that Na Yeon wasn't ready for. She went to her small room, sat on her bed, stared at her reflection in the mirror. Who was she? Park Na Yeon? Kim Soo-jin? Both? Neither? The girl in the mirror had no answers. Just questions. Infinite, terrifying questions. Outside, the autumn night fell. Inside, Na Yeon fell apart. Quietly. Completely. Absolutely. 11:47 p.m. The bus stop. Na Yeon had been walking for 6 hours. Her phone was dead. Her feet hurt. She didn't care. She'd left the apartment after Min Jung fell asleep. Couldn't stay there. Couldn't breathe in that small space filled with lies. But she had nowhere else to go. Nowhere that felt safe. Nowhere that felt real. So she walked. Through the traditional market. Past the supermarket where she'd supposedly been stolen. Through neighborhoods that should feel like home but felt like movie sets. Fake. Constructed. Wrong. Eventually, her legs gave out. She found a bus stop. Sat down on the cold plastic bench. The harsh fluorescent light above buzzed. Flickered. Cast everything in harsh, unflattering white. Other bus stops down the street were dark. Last buses long gone. But this one stayed lit. A small island of light in an ocean of darkness. Like her. A small, broken thing, surrounded by vast unknowing. Her backpack lay on the ground beside the bench. She didn't remember setting it down. Didn't remember sitting. Time had become strange, elastic, meaningless. A woman walked by, glanced at her, kept walking. Probably thought Na Yeon was drunk or homeless or waiting for someone. She was waiting for someone. Herself. The person she used to be before the truth shattered everything. But that person wasn't coming back. Her hands were numb from the cold. November nights in Seoul. She should go home. Charge her phone. Tell Min Jung she's okay. But what did okay even mean anymore? She pulled her knees up to her chest. Made herself smaller. Wished she could disappear entirely. Who was Kim Soo-jin? That baby in the photograph? Smiling. Happy. Loved by a young mother who'd only looked away for 2 minutes? That baby didn't exist anymore. She'd been stolen. Hidden. Renamed. Recreated as Park Na Yeon. A fiction. A comfortable lie. A girl who thought she knew who she was. But Park Na Yeon was a ghost. A story. A character Min Jung had created to replace the stolen child. And now that ghost was dissolving. Fading. Leaving behind. What? Who? Na Yeon didn't know. Didn't know her real name. Her real family. Her real history. Didn't know if the memories she had were real or constructed. Did she actually learn to ride a bike at age 7? Or was that a story Min Jung told so often it became memory? Did she actually love kimchi jjigae? Or had she convinced herself she did because Min Jung made it every week? Did she actually want to study literature at university? Or was that just Park Na Yeon's dream, and Kim Soo-jin might have wanted something completely different? Every memory, every preference, every piece of her identity suddenly felt suspect. Constructed. False. She was 18 years old and she didn't know anything about herself. The cold seeped deeper. Her fingers went from numb to painful. She should move. Should go somewhere warm. But where? Home to Min Jung, who'd lied for 18 years. 2. Ji-eun's luxury apartment, belonging to a stranger who called herself mother. There was no home. Not anymore. Home required knowing who you were. And Na Yeon had no idea. A taxi passed. Slowed. The driver looked at her with concern. She waved him on. She wasn't a damsel needing rescue. She was a broken identity piecing herself back together. Or trying to. Or failing to. Her phone was dead, but even if it wasn't, who would she call? Min Jung, whose number was saved as Mom, but felt wrong now. Ji-eun, whose number she didn't even have. Her friends, who knew Park Na Yeon but had never met Kim Soo-jin. She was utterly, completely alone. More alone than she'd ever been. More alone than she knew a person could be. Because this wasn't physical loneliness. This was existential. This was the loneliness of not existing. Of being a name without a person. A body without an identity. The fluorescent light buzzed. The night deepened. The cold intensified. And Na Yian or Su Jin, or whoever she was, sat at the bus stop and felt herself dissolving into the darkness. 18 years old. Identity shattered. Family fractured. Self undefined. Lost in every possible way. The night had no answers. The cold had no mercy. The darkness had no end. And the girl at the bus stop had no idea how to become real again. 5:23 a.m. The sky begins to lighten. Na Yian stood in front of a large house. Upscale neighborhood. Quiet streets. The kind of place where Park Na Yian never belonged. But maybe Kim Soo Jin did. She'd walked here from the bus stop. 3 hours. Through Seoul's sleeping streets. Watching dawn break over a city that didn't know her name. The house was beautiful. Modern. Expensive. Floor-to-ceiling windows visible from the street. A small, perfectly maintained garden. An intercom system at the gate. Ji-eun's house. Her biological mother's house. The life she should have had. Her hand reached toward the intercom button. Hesitated. Pulled back. What was she doing here? She'd been so angry yesterday. So certain she didn't want anything to do with Ji-eun. So sure that Min Jung was her only mother. But sitting in the cold all night. Dissolving into identity crisis, Na Yian realized something. She needed answers. Real answers. Not about DNA. About herself. About who Soo Jin was before she became Na Yian. About the first 2 years of her life that were stolen. Along with everything else. And only Ji-eun could give her those answers. The sky continued to lighten. Golden hour approaching. The world waking up. A new day beginning. Na Yian took a breath. Pressed the button. Silence. Then, after 10 seconds that felt like 10 hours, hello? Ji-eun's voice. Rough. Had she been awake? Or just woken by the buzzer? It's me. It's Na Yian. More silence. Then the gate buzzed open immediately. Ji-eun stood in the doorway. No makeup. Hair unbrushed. Wearing yesterday's clothes like she'd fallen asleep on the couch. And just woken up. Her eyes were red and swollen. She'd been crying. All night, by the look of it. You came, Ji-eun whispered. Like she couldn't believe it. Like it was a miracle. I need to talk. Na Yian's voice was steadier than she felt. I need to know things. About Soo Jin. About who I was. Before. Come in, please. I'll tell you everything. The house was as beautiful inside as out. Minimalist. Expensive. Empty. They sat in the living room. Gray sofa. White marble. Floor-to-ceiling windows showing the sunrise. Ji-eun made tea. Her hands shook. She didn't drink hers. What do you want to know? Ji-eun asked. Everything. Start from the beginning. Who was I? Who was Soo Jin? Ji-eun's face softened with memory. You were born on March 3, 2005. Early morning. 6:47 a.m. You weighed 3.2 kilograms. You came out screaming and didn't stop for 2 hours. Na Yian found herself smiling despite everything. Dramatic from the start? Very. You had opinions about everything. Even as a baby. You hated green vegetables. Loved sweet potato. Would cry if someone was singing off key. Really? Really? You had this intensity. Even when you were happy, you were intensely happy. When you were sad, the world was ending. You felt everything so deeply. Na Yian absorbed this. Personality traits she'd never known she had. Or maybe did have but attributed to Park Na Yian instead of Kim Soo Jin. What else? You loved water. Bath time was your favorite. You'd splash for hours if I let you. And you were fearless. Absolutely no sense of danger. I had to watch you constantly because you'd try to climb everything. Bookshelf. Kitchen counter. One time, you tried to climb out of your crib. And I found you halfway over the railing. That sounds terrifying. It was. But it was also beautiful. You were so alive. So curious. So perfect. Ji-eun's voice broke. She took a moment. Composed herself. You learned to walk early. 10 months. You'd toddle around like a little drunk person. Falling and getting up. Falling and getting up. You never cried when you fell. You'd just get up and try again. Stubborn? Determined. There's a difference. You knew what you wanted and you didn't give up. Na Yian realized she was crying. These stories. These memories of a child she didn't remember being but somehow recognized. Tell me about the day I was taken. Ji-yoon's entire body tensed. Are you sure? I need to know. Ji-yoon nodded, took a shaky breath. It was hot. August 15th, Liberation Day. Most shops were closed but the supermarket was open. You'd been teething, crying. I was exhausted. I needed tofu for dinner. You finally fell asleep in your stroller. I thought I could just run in quick. What happened? I went inside. The air conditioning felt so good after the heat. I found the tofu. There was a line at the register. It took longer than I expected. Maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 6. When I came out, she couldn't continue. The words stuck. The stroller was empty. Everything else was there. Your blanket, your rabbit, everything except you. I screamed. People came running. Someone called police. But you were gone. Just gone. Like you'd never existed. The investigation went nowhere. Security cameras were broken. No witnesses. No leads. You just vanished. For 18 years you were a ghost. A missing child poster. A cold case. A mother's nightmare that never ended. They sat in silence. The sun had fully risen now. Golden light poured through the windows. I need to tell you something, Na-yeon said quietly. Last night, I sat at a bus stop for hours. Freezing. Lost. I'd deleted myself. Park Na-yeon felt like a lie. Kim Soo-jin felt like a stranger. I didn't know who I was. Na-yeon, let me finish. I realized something. I'm both. And neither. Park Na-yeon isn't a lie. She's who I became. She's 18 years of real experiences and real growth. But Kim Soo-jin isn't a stranger. She's who I was born as. She's the baby who loved sweet potatoes and hated green vegetables. What are you saying? I'm saying, I don't know how to be your daughter. I don't know how to have 2 mothers. I don't know how any of this works. But I want to try. I want to know you. I want to know Soo-jin. I want to figure out who I am when both halves exist together. Ji-yoon's face transformed. Hope bloomed. Really? You mean it? I'm terrified. And angry. And confused. And I might change my mind tomorrow. But right now, in this moment. Yes, I mean it. Ji-yoon stood up. Walked to a drawer. Pulled out a photo album. I want to show you something. I've kept this for 18 years. It's every photo I have of Soo-jin. Of you. Your first bath. Your first smile. Your first steps. All of it. She opened the album. Page after page of a happy baby. A smiling toddler. A loved child. Na-yeon looked at these photos of herself that she'd never seen. At this life she'd lived but didn't remember. And for the first time since the DNA results, she felt something other than loss. She felt connection, history, roots. Can I borrow this? Na-yeon asked. I want to look at it. Really look. Try to remember. You can keep it. It's yours. You're in every photo. Na-yeon held the album carefully. Like it was precious. Which it was. This was her history. Her stolen past. Her first 2 years. Thank you, Na-yeon said. For not giving up. For searching for 18 years. For not forgetting Soo-jin. I could never forget. You were my whole world. I still don't know if I can call you Mom. That's okay. Call me Ji-yoon. We'll figure everything else out as we go. The sunrise finished. Morning arrived. A new day. Na-yeon stood to leave. At the door, she turned back. Ji-yoon? Yes? Soo-jin. Did she love her mother? Ji-yoon's eyes filled with tears. More than anything. Na-yeon nodded. Good. That's good to know. She left. Walked down the street. Toward the traditional market. Toward Minjung. Toward the life she knew. But she carried the photo album. The history. The beginning. And maybe, eventually, she'd find a way to bridge the gap. Between then and now. Between Soo-jin and Na-yeon. Between 2 mothers and one confused, broken, healing daughter. The dawn had come. The darkness had ended. The path forward was uncertain. But at least she was walking it. Step by step. Breath by breath. Day by day. 4 weeks later. Late autumn afternoon. A quiet neighborhood street. The sun hung low, creating long shadows. Golden hour. 3 women walked together. On the left Min Jung. Short practical hair. Navy jacket and comfortable pants. Worn sneakers. Steady pace. Hands in pockets. She walked like someone who knew these streets intimately. Because she did. This was her neighborhood. Her territory. Her life. In the center Na-yeon. long black hair flowing down her back, catching the afternoon light. Denim jacket over a sweater. School backpack on her shoulders. Her pace was young, energetic, sometimes walking ahead, then falling back. Sometimes bouncing slightly. The natural rhythm of 18. On the right, Ji-yoon. Shoulder-length styled hair. Beige designer coat she'd owned for 3 years. Tailored dark pants. Elegant ankle boots. Small structured handbag. She walked with unconscious grace. Posture perfect. Measured steps. But slower than usual, matching the pace of the others. They maintained space between them. 2 feet. 3 feet. Not holding hands. Not touching. Each in their own physical space. But they were walking together. In the same direction. At the same time. 4 weeks ago, this would have been impossible. 4 weeks ago, they'd been enemies. Rivals. 2 mothers fighting over 1 daughter. Now they were something else. Not a family. Not yet. Maybe never. But something. It had been Na Yeon's idea. I want to try walking together. Just walking. No big talks. No decisions. Just existing in the same space. Min Jung had hesitated. With her? With both of you. My mothers. Plural. It was the first time Na Yeon had used that word. Mothers. Acknowledging both. Claiming both. They'd started these walks 2 weeks ago. Every Sunday afternoon. 1 hour. Around the neighborhood. Sometimes they talked. Mostly they didn't. Today was quiet. Just footsteps on pavement. Fallen leaves crunching. Autumn wind rustling through nearly bare trees. Na Yeon glanced left. At Min Jung. The woman who'd raised her. Whose hands were rough from work. Whose smile was rare but real. Who'd lied but also loved. She glanced right. At Ji-yoon. The woman who'd birthed her. Whose eyes still got sad when she looked at Na Yeon too long. Who'd searched for 18 years. Who'd never given up. Both were her mother. Neither completely. Both partially. Both imperfectly. And Na Yeon was learning to be okay with that. Learning to exist in the complexity. Learning that love didn't have to be simple to be real. The sun continued its descent. The shadows grew longer. Long enough that Na Yeon noticed something. 3 separate shadows. 3 distinct shapes. 3 individual people walking with space between them. But on the ground, where the shadows fell, they touched. Overlapped. Connected. Min Jung's shadow met Ji-yoon's shadow. Where Na Yeon's shadow bridged between them. 3 becoming 1. At least in silhouette. Na Yeon smiled. It was poetic. Maybe too poetic. But it felt true. They were separate. They maintained boundaries. They hadn't figured everything out. But they were connected. Invisibly. Through her. Through shared love for the same person. Through circumstances that had broken and bound them. You're quiet today, Min Jung observed. Just thinking. About? Shadows. Ji-yoon glanced down. Saw what Na Yeon saw. The 3 shadows connecting on the path. She smiled too. Small. Sad. But genuine. They continued walking. The path curved ahead. They followed it. No destination. Just movement. Forward. Together. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a fairy tale ending. It wasn't even close to resolved. Min Jung still had moments of territorial defensiveness. Ji-yoon still struggled with guilt and loss. Na Yeon still had identity crises and nights where she didn't know which name felt right. But they were trying, all 3 of them, trying to create something new. A family that didn't fit any definition. A love that transcended biology and history both. Some days were good. Some days Na Yeon couldn't look at either mother without feeling angry. Or confused or overwhelmed. But today was okay. Today they were walking. Together. And that was enough. The golden hour faded. Evening approached. The air grew cooler. Should we head back? Ji-yoon asked. Na Yeon shook her head. A little further. Please. So they walked. 3 women. 2 mothers. 1 daughter. Connected shadows. Ongoing journey. The leaves fell around them. Autumn giving way to winter. 1 season dying so another could begin. Like them. Old lives dying. New configurations forming. It was messy. It was complicated. It was imperfect. But it was real. It was theirs. It was enough. They walked until the sun set completely. Until the shadows disappeared into darkness. Until the streetlights flickered on, creating new shadows entirely. And still they walked. Forward. Together. Into whatever came next. Because that's what families do. Even families that make no sense. Even families born from tragedy. Even families still figuring out how to exist. They keep walking. They keep trying. They keep moving forward. Together. If today's story brought you a bit of comfort, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and turning on notifications, so I can continue sharing heartfelt stories by your side. Wishing you days filled with nothing but happiness. Leave a greeting in the comments, and I'll wish for all good fortune to come your way.